screen. And I am Tracy Eamon. I am located in Langley, actually in Walnut Grove, and I am an online presence and social media strategist. I started my own business about 12 years ago. And what I found as I kind of evolved, and we're all evolving with our businesses, some of us more now than ever, especially in the last 6 months. But what I found is that one of the biggest concerns that people have obviously is being found online, and we do everything online now. So what you need to do is actually look at things like, keywords. Are you talking to your desired target audience? What is a target audience? Why is that important? So that's what the training today is about, is just to kind of, give you sort of in layman's terms, what is important about really using the right words to attract your ideal audience, because those are the ones that are actually going to make that decision to work with you. And maybe not initially, but you're going to be showing your expertise, and they may come back to you afterwards. And, I did a presentation, it was 3 years ago, Sumner, actually. The last time I did a presentation, it was a live one, but I actually had somebody contact me about 6 months ago from that presentation. So it's about being out there, talking to your audience, and when they're ready, they are going to be more likely to connect with you if you are actually addressing their needs, their wants, their desires. Okay, so we're just gonna go into the next one. I'm sorry about the frog in my throat. It wasn't here before we started. So today we're talking about the 3 steps to finding your ideal target audience. And it'll be kind of laid out in a variety of different ways to really figure out who it is you're trying to talk to. And at the end of this session, we'll do some Q&A. So if you are struggling with trying to figure out who your audience might be, we can do a little bit of back and forth there. So make sure you have your questions along the way. And you've been on Zoom before. So if you go into the chat feature, you'll see it probably on the more screen, or you might see it just beside your, stop video, mute, so forth. Go ahead and put something in the chat, and I will take a look and decide whether we're going to talk about it right then or we're going to talk about it at the end too. But sometimes it's good to get that written down so that you don't forget it. So in this session, you're going to learn what keywords are and why they're important to attracting your ideal client. And the reason I want to talk about keywords is keywords are really, those breadcrumbs that bring people to your online presence, your websites, your offerings, your social media, and so forth. So it's important to know what they are. It's also important to figure out what your target audience looks like. A lot of times we know what is we offer, but do we really know who we're trying to offer it to, and how would they be looking for us? And that's the important thing to kind of keep in mind all the way through this, is what are they actually looking for? A lot of times it's not the terms that we put out there. It's, like I said, it's something that if we don't really delve into what our audience is looking for, they're more likely to be tire kickers. So they might come to your website, look at it, go and jump off, right? So then our next one is how to attract your ideal audience to your services and offerings. So these are some of the things that you're going to learn during this session. And any questions, like I said, go ahead and put them in chat for me. So we're going to start with basics. What are keywords? And I know that everybody kind of gets an idea of keywords, or they get inundated with those emails from somebody on the other side of the world telling you that they can get your website, #1 in SEO, and your optimization needs to be better, and so forth. And people hear SEO and optimization, and a lot of times it's like, hey, that's not what I signed up for. My genius is not necessarily that. It may be, it might be life coaching. It may be, advertising. It may be, it might be a store. You might have a crystal store, or so forth. So keywords, well, really what they are is a single word or a group of words. It's basically what you're going to put into into Google when you're searching, or into Safari on your phone, or whatever it may be. What is it that you're looking for? Those are keywords. And when you group some of them together, they're called long tail keywords. So if you've ever heard somebody say long tail keywords, that's what they're talking about. It's a group of words that really are going to help people find what they're looking for. And, you know, no matter what it is, it could be, I always use this example, but, you know, you can be very specific. So you can say, I'm looking for, or looking how to change the brake pads on the passenger side of a 2006 Caravan, right? Like, you can be that exact when you put in searches into Google, and it'll come back with the information and the possible web pages and YouTube channels and so forth that will help you out. So in order for those people to have shown up, they would have used some of those keywords that you put into your request. So just keep in mind that in mind. And basically ideas and topics that you describe what your content is about, how you help people, you know, what problems you solve, and so forth. Anyone else wants to join on the side there, that's great. So why are keywords important? Okay, so you want your contact to attract your ideal clients. And we talked about this before. This is your target audience. And, you know, the term target, you know, I'm not really fond of that term, but ideally what you want to do is niche it down so that you are actually talking to the people that are going to be your best clients. And these are going to be the clients that you are able to help, and that really need your help. And so how do you attract them? Like, how do they find you in that whole mess of information and content and website and information that's out there? You know, you end up in information overload, right? So that's why keywords are important. Without keywords, your website's not going to show up on the search engines, much less on the first page. Now, you know, guaranteeing that you're going to get up on the first page, that's usually going to take a fair bit of advertising dollars, but I always like to work with clients to really determine organically what's going to give them the best reach. And then if they choose to add additional, you know, advertising into it, then it just kind of really optimizes things further. But if you don't have keywords on your website, even though it may be beautiful, people may not find it. They'll find it if you say, hey, go to my website, right? But if they are actually trying to find what you offer, but they don't know who you are, you need to have keywords on your website. They really are a powerful marketing tool that can be leveraged in so many ways. All right. If I'm going too fast, please let me know. So why is keyword research necessary? Well, if you don't really know what your audience is looking for or who your audience is, and you don't know what words, keywords basically, that people are searching for, then you are going to have less likelihood of having a high visits to your website. And, you know, basically it's a numbers game. The more people you get to your website, the more likely you're going to have that extra interaction with them that potentially could work into being, you know, your new client and so forth. So research can assist you in finding a profitable niche. So basically that profitable niche is going to be something that you are, you know, is going to turn into more clients. Now, just a second here. I just need to close my window. Thank you. Too much background noise for me. All right, so ongoing research is really listening to what your audience needs and wants and be able to serve them. So answering their questions, addressing their concerns, providing tools, providing information that is relevant to them. You don't always actually even have to be sharing information that is all of your own. It can be information that is relevant to your audience, because that actually helps you become an expert to them, and also brings them back to you over and over again, okay? So keyword research really should drive all decisions related to your online marketing. And your online marketing obviously is attracting more of your ideal clients. So determining your target audience really is the first step in keyword research. Okay. When you know what your audience is looking for and how they feel, and if you can actually be one with your client, then you're going to be able to talk in their language. And that's a really important thing to do, because as we, really dig deep into our own business, there's certain words and terminologies that we use, but the people that we're trying to attract don't always know what those terms are. They might know them after working with you, but if they don't know you yet, they don't know that that's what it means, right? So that you've got to kind of really look at how are they feeling? How do they, you know, how do they move into that next level of working with you? How do you build your relationship? So why is defining a client avatar essential to your success? Really, your client avatar is all those bits and pieces that makes up your ideal client, okay? And it's everything, because how people think, where they go to digest information, that's really important. So it really helps you guarantee that your marketing efforts are targeted, that you are talking in their language, okay? And it also makes it more cost effective. I mentioned before, I mean, advertising is good, but it's always good to advertise and for things that are actually going to give you a good return. And in order to do that, you need to be attracting the right audience. So if you, for instance, were a coach and you did advertising for being a coach, well, a coach can be, it could be a soccer coach, a hockey coach, it could be a life coach, it could be a career coach, it could be a money coach, right? But if you get clear on what people are looking for, I need to change my money mindset so that I can attract more income, then you want to be a money mindset coach, right? So you want to see what people are actually searching for. And your ideal customer will return repeatedly. You probably know this, that, many of us, when we're building out our businesses, a lot of our business comes from referrals. And, it'll come from, or that same client coming back and saying, okay, you talked about how you can help me with this before, now I'm ready. By continuing to educate them on information that they really are interested in, you're going to build up that relationship. And ultimately there's several touches that need to come in order for someone to do business with you if they don't know who you are to begin with, right? So your ideal customer is really worth their weight in gold, because they're the ones that are going to do your referrals. They're going to talk about you to their colleagues. They're going to say, oh, you need to talk to Nick about Shop Langley, for instance. And I'm not sure what everybody else does here, so Nick, I'm picking on you. But it's important. Like, why do you, if you don't know who your client avatar is, then it really is difficult to create a website, to put your social media posts out there. If there's no relevance to what you're offering, then it's really a waste of your time. And it's a waste of the time of people that might come to your website, because they've come there for a completely different reason than you think, right? So let's get started with defining your client avatar. So first, what I want you to do, and you guys can watch this afterwards, or you can just make a note, but create a list. You can build a broad description of your ideal customer. What do they look like? Okay. Where are they located? What is their, are they married? Are they single? Are they whatever their demographic is? Things that are actually important. I think about what's important to the people that you're helping, and what do they need, and where are they likely to fit in. If you are talking, for instance, with mental health, and maybe you're talking mental health with teens, or maybe you are talking about, restaurants and the takeout option, right? Like who is your ideal customer, and start to build that out. And you can write do a list. If you're a paper person, or write it out, or you can do a document, but just think about it and maybe have an ongoing list. I find that, when you can sit down and set aside some time, but I always find it's good to have somewhere to go back and add as you kind of go through your day, and you're like, oh, wait a second, this is what this person told me. This is going to be relative to that overall ideal client, right? And you want to consider personal details, like, where, where they, even where they came from, maybe what their nationality is, maybe what, are they transitioning from, one career to the next? Are they going from, a day job to an extra income? Whatever it might be, we really need to understand who are those people that we're going to be able to help the most. And it doesn't mean we can't help other people, but if we really talk to the people that we can help the most, they are more likely to be ones that take that action, okay, and move forward with you. And really, yeah, dig deeper, define what their struggles are, their desires, their needs, their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations. Really think about it. If you were your client and you know what you know, how can you help them? What would make them want to reach out to you? What would make them come to your website or watch your social media? Are you talking about something that's near and dear to their heart, or a struggle that they've been involved with for so many years, or something that's new and scary? I mean, how can we address things so that they will want to talk to you further, right? Because when they talk to you, you start to build that relationship. So yes, make a list, think about your ideal client. How can you help them? Start with listing important topics about your business. So maybe have, basically a chart, and have one thing that says, okay, this is what I offer. These are the services I offer. These are the problems that I address. And then think about why your audience would want to connect with you, what they would, what they might be experiencing that your services can help, right? So just really get clear on what it is that they're going to need. And then you can pick out keyword phrases. So you can do a search on, Google. And when you go to Google and you search a certain topic, you'll also see at the very bottom of the screen, it'll give you some other suggestions on things that you might also want to search. Those are a great place to kind of start grabbing some additional keyword and long tail keyword and questions that are relevant to the audience that you're trying to attract. Also look to your competition. I'm a firm believer that really competition is good. There is more than enough people out here that we can all assist, and the right combination of services, relationships, personalities is going to, really make that connection possible. So, and the other cool thing is that your competition has already done some work for you and some research for you. So what that means is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Look at who you consider your competition, or look at who you feel is someone offering complementary services, basically talking to your target market, and check out what they're doing. Review their page and their blog titles, because they've likely done some research and they're using keywords in there that are attracting people to the website. Look at their categories. So in blogs, you have the blog categories. If they've done some research, then they probably have, 2 or 3 keywords together that create a certain category that people are looking for more information on. And then how do they describe their services? So, you want to obviously make the information your own, but it gives you a good idea of what terms your competition is using, because you can also see too, like if you use certain terms, and you can do a search on Google and you'll see kind of which businesses show up for those search terms. Take a look at what they're doing, because there's some great ahas that you can take away, and maybe some of what they're doing doesn't feel right for you. It's not the right fit, and that's fine. But seeing what is happening out there is really important. And I always like to view source code if it's available, and that's basically if you're on a PC, right click, and you can actually go down and view source code, and there's meta information. That gets a little technical for people, but it's one of the things that I like to do, to find out what keywords people are using. And really, another place to figure out what people are searching for is go to your clients, the ones that you have right now that are your raving fans. They're one of your best resources. They really are the people, you know, basically you can take those raving fans, you can take those clients and pick out the best part of each of those clients, and that will help you build your ideal audience as well. Because, you know, it could be Sally is wonderful at this and Tim is fabulous at this, and I really like the zest for things that Nick has, and I really like to combine them all into my ideal client. So how would I talk to them, right? And so using your clients is really good because it really helps you understand what your prospects are looking for. You want more people like your, you know, favorite clients, right? And they really do help you identify even more. So how do you find, you know, how do you figure out, oh, what keywords are going to be a profitable niche? It looks like my slide's done something funny, but there are a number of different ways to take, you know, what you determine to be what your audience is looking for, then take those and use them as keywords, and then go ahead and do some searches, keyword research on them, okay? So you can use something like a keyword AdWords, a Google AdWords keyword planner. You can go in and create an AdWords account in Google, and there is a free option to use their Google AdWords planner. And what that does is it allows you to kind of check, it gives you a very general idea of what people are searching for, but it does let you know whether people are actually searching for those terms. A lot of times you'll find that people will tell you that they will, you know, give you a #1 position on Google or the top of Google for this search term. But if no one is looking for that search term, or, you know, 10 people are looking for that search term, being #1 for something that people aren't searching for is a waste of your time as well. So here's a couple of different links here. You know, Word Tracker is another place. Your first 12 searches are free. WordStream, you can also get 30 searches. And then Keyword Planner is obviously that free one. So this is really important to just kind of check. Like you think about everything that you put into your business and your planning, and you know, you're so excited about what you're offering, and now you want people to be able to find you. So it's really important. Those keywords are what are going to attract people to you, and knowing what keywords your ideal audience is looking for is going to make that even more valuable for you. So once we have those keywords, we figured out what our, you know, client avatar is, what they're looking for, what they need. We've determined what they might be searching for based on looking at our competition and doing some keyword research as far as numbers and, you know, whether people are actually searching for them or not. And then where should we be using those keywords? So really, you can actually use them on your website. You know, we're talking about meta descriptions, but we're talking about, you know, header titles. You know, if you have us, you know, subheaders, and we have a breakdown, right? My bullet points, anything where you can put your keywords in, and you don't want to, obviously, you always want to be writing your content so it speaks to the individuals that you're talking to, not to the search engine. You don't want to have just like a whole bunch of keywords jammed in there that make no sense whatsoever. But you do want to be addressing what people are looking for in different ways. Okay. Now, the other thing you can do is on your Facebook post. So you might put a blog post on your website. When you share it out, do you just take the link from your website and, you know, plug it into your Facebook page? You can do that. It brings up a preview screen. It looks nice. But you know what? If you actually incorporate some keywords, entice people into clicking further, right? We always want to be enticing people to click further, to find more. We bring them to your website. We bring them to your offering. We bring them to your main page, whatever it might be. Is going to, you know, once they get there, they may look at other places. They might actually take that next step and contact you, or they might download your freebie, right? So, And then you have Instagram. So Instagram is another place, right? Throughout these, you can be using your keywords in your titles, in your blurbs, in your bios. You know, make sure when you're putting things up on YouTube that, you know, YouTube is owned by Google. It's highly searched. It gets the extra boost because it is, youtube.com. You're going to end up with, we've got millions and millions of people that are on there on a daily basis, which brings it up to the top of search returns. And when you have the right titles in there, you're more likely to show up and be able to talk to your audience that you're looking for. Amazon's another place. You know, if you have a book, even if you're at the process of, a lot of us are, creating books, we're writing our books and we're thinking about like, what's the best title? Well, think about who you're trying to attract, what keywords they would be using, and try to incorporate that into your title, because it's going to more likely show up for the people that are searching for it that way. LinkedIn as well. So your headline title, you can put your keywords in there. Make sure in your description, in your about, that you really talk to what you're offering your ideal clients, what it is that they're looking for, how you can assist. You may include case studies, but you also want to include those words that they're going to be searching for. I keep coming back to keywords, I'm sorry, but it's really important, because we search all the time. We are always looking for something, and it's just, I mean, I do it probably 30 times daily, because I'm always looking for something, and it's the best way to do it. I'm going to look at what comes up, and you want to be one of those websites or social media accounts or so forth that comes up to the people that you're trying to attract. So, here's an example of, our keywords stopping you from being found online. So I've used like titles, and we're talking about keywords and being found online, right? It's really important for people. This is one of my reports. And then meta titles and descriptions. So why I showed the slide before this is that when you use, you can actually customize what the search engines will see. And you can do that through meta titles and descriptions. So I'm able to put, keyword marketing secrets, why you aren't being found online. And then I've, customized this section here, right? So, and then you can actually do this by using tools. If you're using WordPress, there's Yoast, there's All-in-One SEO, which is the next one coming up. There you go. But if you're using, Shopify, just look, any of the places that you are building your websites, go and look for that opportunity to, add SEO, optimization. A lot of them talk about sort of different terms related to that, where you can add your keywords, and it'll allow the search engines to show a better definition of what you have. So what I want to show here is like, okay, so learn keyword marketing secrets that may be stopping you from being found online in this free report from Tracy Emin. Okay, I'm just going to go back to our previous slide here. And normally what happens is, by default, the search engines will show your first sentence and a half. And in this case, it might work well, right? Our keyword stopping from being found online. This would actually work. But a lot of times we might have a beautiful website that starts with a great quote, and then we go into the content. And what's going to happen is the search engines are just going to grab that quote at the beginning. And if I am looking for a particular topic, right, and I want a response, that quote right here would just not make any sense. It wouldn't make me want to click it. So you do want to be able to control and customize what people see. Go up here. So we're talking about social media bios, right? So I include, online presence, social media strategist. I've got a book, so I've got that there. I'm also part of Women Speakers Association. I do the speaker chat. So you can include things, and really we've got hashtags here. We could do a session on hashtags if people are interested in the future, but hashtags really help power boost your keywords. Okay, because they're clickable. People could click on them, they can go see more on that particular topic, and it also helps other people end up on your social media that way. So LinkedIn too, right? So I've got online presence and social media expert, best-selling author. So, and then within my about section, online presence and social media strategist. So what I've done is I've included what I want people to reach out to me about, right? I want them to reach out to me about being found online, what their online presence looks like, and you know, how it relates to their social media and website. And then on here, I used Women Speakers Association as an example. They're a global online forum for women speakers. So who are they trying to attract? Women speakers. And we want to network and collaborate, right? So it's thinking about who that audience is, what they would be looking for. And if you can make it so that you have clickable links like hashtags with on keywords that people are searching for, then you actually will get returned in some of those search returns that way as well. All right, I felt like I zoomed through that, and hopefully it was some value to you. I would love to take any questions or you know, any feedback that you have. Also, anything, you know, any extra insight that you have as well. I had said before, I'm always a firm believer that we're always learning. I'm always taking new courses, and there's always new ways of looking at things. And I would love to be able to address any of those. So does anyone have any questions? And you can unmute yourself if you like. All right, such a silent crowd. You joined us today, which was awesome. I'm so glad that you did. And I hope that it added some value, or at least made you switch your thinking just a tiny bit to figure out how to attract those ideal audience and figure out who that ideal audience is. Did anyone have a takeaway that potentially they're going to go do? Or can I get any of you to let me know that you're actually going to start writing out what your ideal client looks like? Oh, I see a chat here. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Jeanette. Yes, I mean, what's really important is talking in terms that people are going to respond to. Really, every business that we do has that relationship factor. And if you can relate to somebody, if you can find, you know, if you can address what they're looking for, then you're more likely to be able to build out your business with this person. Because if you're talking, you know, way up here and they're kind of down the basic, you can help them, but they don't know you can. There's too much of a expanse between the two of you. And when someone is struggling and they're looking for answers, they're going to kind of go to the first thing, the easiest thing that they can find. So think easy when you're kind of creating, you know, your blog posts and so forth. There we go. Oh, actually, and I'm reading, I don't know if everybody sees the group chat, but Jeanette's saying, yeah, drilling down to those 12 words, didn't think to Google words to find out who else is sharing the same word searchable solution. Yeah, it just helps, because sometimes we get so stuck in what it is that we know, because we know we can help people. Like, we know that you know, it's what keeps us up at night because we're happy, and wakes us up in the morning because it lights us up, and we know we can help people. But if we're not talking in their terms, then we miss on that opportunity, right? We miss on that opportunity of making a difference in people's lives and their businesses. Tyler, thank you so much. Hey, I know you too. Awesome. This is so exciting to actually see people I know on here. Yes, thank you. Your message is great, directed more to marketing or social media terms. We have worked together previously in partnership with LEC. What can someone like myself do from a sales perspective to help drive these companies' messages across? So you're talking about, Tyler, within, for instance, people doing advertising or sponsorship for some of the events at LEC. How can you help sort of get them in front of more people? Is that what your question is? Oh, okay. Yes. So it does come back to like, what is that particular sponsor offering? Okay, so let's use Willoughby Town Center as an example. What are they offering? They're offering, you know, restaurants and food services and shopping just down the road. So when we were working together on that, it was important to, what were people looking for? So people are looking for, you know, food or restaurant destinations near LEC, right? So when you're promoting, that's kind of how you would want to promote it. What is someone looking for? They're looking for restaurant locations near LEC. If you're talking about maybe a local gym, so the gym that is kind of below you at LEC there, and you want to promote that, then you're talking about, you know, maybe the ease of fitness classes, you know, just down the road, or, you know, Willoughby fitness classes are available on a daily basis at blah, 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 right? So see how I'm kind of taking those keywords and what people might be searching for and then incorporate them into the blurb. So then I can share out a link, right? So what are they looking for? I incorporate it into a little blurb and then have a link for them to go to, you know, it might be information I found on somebody else's website that I want to share, or maybe Tyler, in your case, you know, obviously linking them to that sponsor's website or social media or whatever you've decided is the best route to go for them. And then, you know, looking at what other people are using in terms of search terms as well. Did that help a little bit, Tyler? Good. Yes, thank you. Internet, it's been actually, I did an interview yesterday and we had a really bad internet as well. So I think so many of us are online right now, but once again, so many of us are online, right? And so many businesses are, you know, storefronts that have adapted and are looking for new ways to speak to their audience and where people are going to start. I mean, honestly, you're going to get people into your locations, but they're going to do a heck of a lot of research right now before they take that next step. So, you know, right now we're talking about, you know, including social distancing, you know, what are our social, you know, do you want to know what our social distancing practices are? You know, blah, 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 like things that people are searching for right now. So we always kind of want to be aware of that as well, and how you can incorporate what's going on in the world, how it's impacting people, and then how you can help. So I hope that added some value as well. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, Jeanette, thank you very much for being here with us. Nick?
I think most important, a lot of times people don't take the time to listen, understanding what the customer wants instead of just pushing what you're trying to do. And sometimes they lose you and you lose them because you completely go above what they really want or need.
I love that. It's so true. If you're not listening, you're losing. I mean, really, you're both losing, because like you said, you may be, if you listen to what they had to say, you could actually help them. But if you're offering something that's out of their reach right now, they're not there yet, but you could still help them. But if you're talking up here, and you know, that's like my thing again, right? If you're talking up here and they're down here, you're not, there's a long way in between, and somebody else is going to kind of dip in there and answer those questions in a way that is going to be the right way for that person at that time. Thanks for saying that, Nick. That's a really nice and succinct way of stating it. Anyone else? All right. And Sumner, do you have any questions yourself?
No, I don't think so. That was great. And yeah, it was quite clear and everything like that. For people to contact you for any further questions, should they just send you an email or?
Yeah, sending me an email is probably best. I'm going to actually just give you yeah, so if you contact me at tracy.eman@telus.net, I'll put it in this chat for those of you that are on this. That's probably the best way. Otherwise, you can go to my website as well, partneringinsuccess.com. I always love sharing that out though, because I work on other people's websites and not on my own. So, but you can still contact me there. And if you happen to want to grab that report that I kind of touched on as I was kind of using it as an example, you can go to keywordmarketingsecrets.com and download that report. And it just kind of takes you through some of what we did today, but gives you some, you know, some further examples on where you can incorporate keywords, why keywords are important, different tools that you can use. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody joining me today. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I look forward to connecting. Seek me out on LinkedIn. Just look up Tracy Eman. You'll find my picture, and you'll see the keyword marketing secrets on there as well.
Excellent. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.